I think the dagger for us was the 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes. I think Hawkins hit a 3 at like the 3-minute mark or right under the 3-minute mark, but we said plenty of time. But in those moments, like we had 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes of the game, and that's just, you don't give yourself a chance. I mean, we just gave up 14 points off our turnovers. Like it's something that we continuously talk about. Just got to take care of the basketball.
What was the message to the team after the game? You know, it's been a little bit since it wrapped up.
We talked first about just things going right and how we get away from those. We had 30 points in the paint in the first half, and we only had 8 in the second half. We had a point in time where we had, what we were doing, we were getting feet in the paint, we were kicking out, we were getting shots at the rim, and then there's a segment where we went like 4 straight possessions and took 3s. Like you can't have that. Like it doesn't work that way. Like you have to continue moving on with what's working, and they've got to understand what's working. I call a timeout to talk about it, and we go out and we take a long 2 and another 3. That's just understanding the game, having discipline in our shot selection. But it's plays throughout the game like that. It doesn't come down to the end. It's plays like that that just really keep us from expanding the lead and being in control of the game.
What was the biggest reason that you felt like Aaliyah only had those 2 free throws in the second half and was otherwise kept scoreless?
Yeah, I think the minute the ball was being passed into the post, they were sending the double immediately. And they're aggressive, right? I mean, this team is aggressive. Their guards are aggressive. They were up really hard on all the ball screens. They get deflections. They foul a lot. Didn't get called for them. But we have to be able to handle that. But AB just, she's getting touches, and she doesn't hesitate to throw it out. So we got to make ourselves available when they're coming with that double. Go with our post automatics, things that we work on every day. But, that's what people are going to do to us. They're going to just double and just sit on her down there and let somebody else beat you.
Chloe.
Yeah. Aaliyah did break the field goals made record that has stood for over 20 years with Tamika. What does that say about her this season and kind of the future of the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, she's just special. She's going to break a lot of records here. But she's just, she's a special player. And when you have people like her, you put people around her to help her do what she can do, and then people that can lighten the load for her as well. Also, I'd like to say congrats to Erica Wheeler. She has 1,000 assists. I think Ron said she's the 35th player in league history.
Yep.
To get that done.
Yeah, and you mentioned fouling, and there was one point in the second quarter where Nalissa had 3 fouls in less than a minute, and it seemed like she didn't agree with some of those. Did you also disagree with those fouls and sometimes the fouling in general today?
I didn't agree with a lot of some of the fouls that happened today, but, that's the game. That's there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. That was the last thing I said to our players before we huddled up and we broke. We cannot spend our energy on the officials. We just can't do it. They've got to let me handle it, but they can't. It's not going to change. They've just got to keep playing next play mentality.
Yeah, and how did those 3 fouls kind of limit Nalissa for the rest of the game?
Well, she had to come out at that point, right? So now she's not even in the game to be effective. And then they were doubling actually in the post on her as well, and I think she ended up with 5 turnovers. That's tough. 5 fouls, 5 turnovers. We're trying to get her flow back, get her rhythm back, and it's just going to take some time, but got to be ready to bounce back for Phoenix in less than 36 hours.
And then Lexi went out with the shoulder injury. Do you know anything extra about that right now?
No, I haven't even talked to Todd to find out. She was in the locker room at the end of the game, so I will leave here and go find out what's going on with Lexi.
I would just say that it just means that she's a great player, and the sky is the limit for her. Congratulations for her doing that, but like I said, sky is the limit.
Yeah, and in general, this game, it seemed like there were some bad pass or fumbled catch turnovers. Like, how do you make sure that doesn't happen, or kind of just what happened throughout the game?
Well, it's tough, we just got to watch film, and we got to get back in the gym and, work on certain things, on our spacing and everything. But It's tough when you have 17 turnovers to win a game. So, like I said, back to the drawing board.
Coach took a timeout with about 3 minutes left. You guys were down by 2. What was the message in that timeout?
Try to get stops as much as possible. Be ready for whatever scheme that, B Sykes was hot. And so we had to be ready for whatever she brought to the table, then up possession and take care of the ball. So it was important for us to kind of make sure that we stayed in tune to what she wanted.
When you guys came within, I think that one possession late, 3 or 4 seconds left, what was the feeling in the team as you were trying to get the tie or the win?
I mean, that we could win. I mean, at that point, when we almost had that tip, I mean, if we would have been able to get that and get the layup, we would have tied the game. So we could have definitely tried to push that to overtime. But, I mean, we never go out there thinking that we're going to lose. Like, we go out there and we give it our all. So when it comes down to the wire like that, and it has come down to the wire for many games this season, it's tough. Because we're a great team at the end of the day. Like, we have great pieces. And when we all put it together, it's tough for you to beat us. But like I said, when it comes down to the wire, it's just tough when we lose those.